I waited 20 years to kick your ass. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello humans, and thank you for joining me in another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, smash the like button. Now, let's get ready for the show. On today's episode... Hello humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. On today's show, Street Fighter EX3. Well friends, let me tell you, it was the year 2001. That's right, 2001. And the economy was, and I was having a particularly tough time at the time. Just like every other time, right? It was like that all the time almost. But anyway, this particular time, I was having a lot of stress at work. Right? I used to work for this company where the guy was exactly like Mr. Krabs, and I'm not even kidding you guys. You want an example how cheap this guy was? Alright, one time he wanted me to get into a dumpster to get a used item. So he could reuse it again, and the item was 79 cents. Right? And this is going to be an undertaking, and I told him to think, how much are you going to pay me to go in here and do that? And I could fall, you know, I mean, it's not, this is a dumpster. And he's like, just get it. He just wanted to make the point, right? So he was paying, you know, whatever. But that was the kind of guy. That's the kind of guy he was, right? So you can imagine when it came to raises and things like that. He was trying to pull like water out of a rock, man. This guy, whoa! But he was most of the part a good man, except for these are the early days of the internet, guys, and I became network certified. Ooh, back in the day, right? I'm not in the computer industry anymore, but back in the day, I was network certified, like in '97 somewhere. Yeah, '97. Anyway, so one of the reasons I had to do that is because this guy kept on going on the internet and exploring different websites. And he would go, I'm getting off the topic here, but I'll get back to it. He would go into other people's computers and to look at weird kind of stuff, right? You guys can imagine what it is. I don't want to get... But anyway, so because he would do that, you know, the computers would get things, and I would have to basically, you know, wipe them and reload Windows and reload the software that we use for the company. But anyway, it was around this time, guys, that Street Fighter EX3 was announced, and I was really just enamored with the whole Street Fighter franchise since it came out. I really dug it, right? And you know, I remember wanting it so bad to have it on the Super Nintendo when it first came out. And if you guys weren't there, the Super Nintendo was dying, man. The Genesis was kicking his butt, and then Street Fighter happened. When Street Fighter was exclusive to the Super Nintendo, it blew up. Not that it didn't have great games and people were buying it, but it's that point, that turning point, where everybody I knew that were rocking Genesis, they were trading them in, they were selling them to get a Super Nintendo just to play Street Fighter. So it was that big of a shift back in the day. But anyway, guys, so this game comes out and I'm reading it on Game Pro, different magazines, man, and I'm just, man, can't wait to play this game, right? And I'm thinking, I'm gonna play this game, and I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna play it, and I never did, right? Too many responsibilities, and I couldn't afford it. By the time I could, you know, I had more responsibilities, different types of responsibilities. Not that I didn't have the game, I didn't have the money for the game, I didn't have the time. But I always, at that point, always remembered that I couldn't get it. And then I just didn't think about it, right? And this weekend, when I went to, you know, the game swap, you know, I'm walking around, I'm looking at different things, I'm looking at the PS2, and I'm really just looking for Atlas games at this point. And then I pulled it out, and all those memories, right? All that drooling that I was doing back then, all those times that I wanted to play this game so bad came back to me. And I'm telling you guys, I'm living the dream because I'm lucky enough to go back and purchase all the games that, you know, I couldn't back in the day, you know, and that really, really makes me happy. It makes my day. It makes collecting fun, and I'm getting near the end of my collecting journey, right? For the systems that I want to collect, specifically the PS3, PS2, Xbox 360, Wii U. I'm being more selective now. I think I have enough. Plus, you know, the insane amount of games that I have digitally. You know, I'm getting to that point, you know, of saturation where it's diminishing returns. But I'll talk about that in another video. So I want to be selective on the things I want to get, and I want to go back for things like these, right? And what I'm gonna do, maybe you lived under a rock, I don't know. You haven't seen this game, but I will play this game, film it, and talk a little bit about the game. And hopefully you guys join me. Stick around. Right? Let's check it. Like I said, guys, I've always been a fan of the series, and finally, and I mean finally, after 20 years, yeah, because this game came out 20 years ago, man. I can't believe it's here. Street Fighter EX3. Man, you know what? First thoughts on the game is, number one, the thing that I'm really enjoying the most is a new cast of characters. And the more I look at them, the more I think at those old reviews, you know, thinking, what were these guys thinking? I think they were just looking at it from a perspective of just being Street Fighter games. You know, this is not like a regular Street Fighter. This is something different, but that doesn't mean it's bad, you know. There's a lot of enjoyment here. You know, for me, when I was looking at this game back in the day, it was all about thinking about these characters in 3D, you know, how they would move, how would you accomplish different things, and reading about the game, you know, gameplay mechanics on the game of having tag teams and having characters join your party, you know, as you're advancing, man. Those are only things I could dream about because I wasn't playing the game, right? And as I'm playing it now, I'm telling you, I am having a ball. This is great gameplay, at least for me. You know, it's everything I expected, you know, 20 years ago, the game to be when, you know, when I was trying to play it. In 2001, the game had already come out, you know, and I was just reading about it. But man, what's all the gameplay, at least for me? I'm really enjoying the characters. The new characters are more, you know, I would say more anime driven. And I wish they would have done more. There's a lot of interesting characters in here you guys can delve into. If you guys don't own this game, but you're a Street Fighter fan, if you're a fan of the series, go and get it. It really is worth it. It's something different. It's not the usual, you know, Street Fighter mechanics, but it doesn't mean it's not enjoyable. I like it. And if you're a fan of Street Fighter like I am, you're going to enjoy it too. Go get you some. Alright guys, so I give you a little sprinkle, a little taste of Street Fighter EX3. Who knows, maybe right now there's a game out there you've been wanting but you can't afford, you can't get for whatever reason. Don't lose hope. Life sometimes gives you a second chance. Just make sure you take it.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, click the notification bell, and remember, never be afraid to be happy. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care.
Atari, baby. The original.